Hello everyone, there is breaking news regarding the Chris Watts case. It has been reported that the mistress of Chris Watts, Nicole Kessinger, had requested for a name change after 2 years straight after the new Netflix documentary. The filings began directly the day after, on October 1st, 2020, and it looks like she had her hearing yesterday, October 15th, for a name change hearing. A media outlet that was claimed to be a source close to this investigation said that she has received several threats, public shaming, and could be considered one of the most hated women in America. And they claim that she plans to start fresh with a new name, a new town, and ultimately a new identity. So I find this rather interesting that this came after the special documentary that Netflix came out telling Shannan's story, and obviously the world breaks for her. And even if NK didn't have anything to do with the crimes itself, or even if she knew about it or not, she still knew that she was doing something wrong. She was having an affair with a married man. And all because of that, 3 beautiful people were wiped from the earth. And I think it's very crucial with the constant drilling into Chris's head about her not wanting to be the second fiddle, having all of these firsts with her. I mean, that contributed mentally in his head and led up to eventually what he had done. And also the fact that she actually explained to Chris how expensive it was going to be living on his own, paying for a divorce and paying for child support. That was just another piece of information that did not need to be fed to him, because then his only choice was to do what he did. He made his bed and now he's laying in it. He probably never would have been satisfied. He could have done the same exact thing to NK when he was bored with her. And unfortunately, those 3 beautiful souls paid the price. And the Rusicks as well. And I really don't blame her for wanting to change her name. And hopefully, this name change has nothing to do with the recent phone call where Chris Watts wants to appeal his case, because then she would have to go to court. And then the real truth would be exposed.
She kind of realized that, she'd always be like, the second, she said second fiddle. She'd always be like, the second, she said second fiddle. She said second fiddle.
Hi. It's me. I guess just call me back when you have a chance.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi. Call me back. Bye.
That was when I had said, hey, when you go to North Carolina, I really think you should try to fix things with your wife, and kept asking, well, what about us? And I was trying to kind of take a step back and see if he would fix things before attempting to pursue things with me, because I wanted to know that if all of these things he's saying, like, yes, we're getting separated, and yes, all of these things that he's saying are happening, I wanted to know that it was like, you were doing this, like you said you were, prior to me coming in your life, and it had nothing to do with me, and so for me, it was like, I really wanted them to fix it. I would have just, left the situation.
Trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me, please go try to fit, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me, and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman,
He kept telling me, I don't want to, I don't think she wants to, and I was just like, please try, just please try, I just thought he had such a beautiful life, and I was willing to just leave his life. I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone. And
that was never anything I conveyed to him.
I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone.
That was never anything I conveyed to him.
I was like, if you work things out with your wife, I'm gone.
That was never anything I conveyed to him. Me, instructing him. That was never anything I conveyed to him. Me, instructing him. I have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff. That was never anything I conveyed to him. I have kids and have my own marriage and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that was me pushing that.
That was never anything I conveyed to him.
Yeah, that was me pushing that.
That was never anything I conveyed to him.
He was so, infatuated with what we had going on.
That was never anything I conveyed to him. infatuated with what we had going on. That was never anything I conveyed to him. You would think that he would want to do what would make me happy.
That's a good point.
And
So maybe
what would make me happy
with him hanging out with
with his kids.
I didn't know!
you're referencing that he has 2 kids and you don't like that?
That was never anything I conveyed to him.
I didn't know!
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys had an intimate relationship during that time?
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Now, we're standing that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday, or Monday, did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like, I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him, because it was just all very new to me, and I was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just really was like, fix things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but don't, not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but like the later ones.
And
thank you.
When you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it?
Yes, I just didn't say it as frequently as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still like very, very new, so I kind of like took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is a really important moment.
Discussion about anything, like, you know, we talk about the future. I think all couples do talk about the future, but it was never like, hey, I'm like leaving her, we're gonna get a house together, you're moving in with me. It was never like this agreement that it's like, you know, once you guys, all your people are finalized, and you guys have decided to separate, and you're in your own spot with your kids, I was like, I think the days that you're with your kids, you need to be with them like full time. You know, I'm not ready to meet your children. He didn't even ask me to meet his children. I mean, not yet, you know, but I told him, I was like, in the future, eventually, if we get to that point where we think we're ready, yes, but I'm not ready to meet your kids. They're not ready to meet me. You're not ready to have me meet them. And I just told him, you know, like, I think we should take our time. Like, ideally, I would only want to come out with you know, on the days that you don't have. And I was like, in the rest of those days, I was like, spend time with yourself, man. I was like, you've been in a relationship for a really long time. Like,
I wasn't like 100% sure this was like the man of my dreams, and I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, right?
dating seriously and like building something with each other. But I mean, that was kind of my standstill on that. And, you know, and I feel guilty that I should have like waited to, I guess, like initiate anything that we had together until after the situation finalized, as opposed to doing it while they were in the midst of separating.
Or I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even like process. I was like, okay, like give her some space, you know. And on that note too, when he was in, we're gonna jump back for just a second. Okay. I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're gonna get a divorce and we're gonna put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were like gonna put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like sealed deal.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, I want I in trouble because I deleted his text?
You're not in trouble.
I didn't know what was going on at that point.
So, I know does that cause questions?
Of course it does.
There is, but is it criminal? No. Is there concern that you're hiding something? Potentially. That's why I want them, or I wouldn't be asking for them.
I know.
And you've been upfront with me about everything. I don't have a concern that you ever told Chris, I don't want you, go kill your wife, or get rid of your kids, or I don't want to date you if you have kids. None of those things ever came out of your mouth. We've talked about that. So,
I wasn't sure if he was the one I want to be with because he had already done everything.
Okay.
That was never anything I conveyed to him.
There are quite a few people who would tell us, and who do tell us, we need to look into Nikki more, Nikki Kissinger. All the way from the extreme end of things being, Nikki's the one who ordered the hit.
She was there. I'm in the basement.
She was there. So the extreme is, she's the one who told Chris to do it. She's the real problem. All the way, that's the extreme side, and then all the way to, well, there were these texts where she was infatuated, she was in love, she was saying how good Chris was in the sack, and maybe we should look at her more. What would you say to those people? She had her moments where I had to talk her off a ledge kind of deal. What's that mean? I guess after the fact, there was videos of her that she was recording herself because she was bipolar or something. I never do that. But it's and she would get worked up about nothing. She would just she came to my house once because I think it was July 4th. I didn't have to work that day, so I didn't get up at 4 o'clock and go home. And Shannan called me 10 times in a row, and I didn't hear it because I was asleep. And I was just and she was pissed. Shannan was pissed. And I called her outside, where are you at? I was I didn't have to work today. It was you called me at 5:30. It's she just want to talk to you at 7:30. And I was asleep. And she was she just screw you, don't know where you're at. And I was back inside something. I gotta go. And she was just okay. When we come back, and we talk about it. So wait a minute, you kind of lost me there. Were you at Nikki's place when Shannan called you? Yeah. Okay, and so you were sleeping in her bed? Yeah, because I wasn't going to work that day, because I didn't have to that day. Okay. First holiday I ever had off. And, Shannan was pissed, and, kind of pissed Nikki off too, that I left. But I think that's when I called Nikki there, and she was she kind of realized that, she'd always be the second, she said second fiddle. If I never met Nikki, would I ever have, thought our relationship was bad? I would not. Interesting. That's one thing I always thought about. Even Nikki asked me, if, I don't want you, she said, I don't want you to leave your wife just because of me. I'm just what do you mean? She said, well, just if you met me, would you have known? I'm nope. So I never thought I would have strayed away from her at all. I've never tried to follow anybody, But
was Shannan checking your phone, or?
She always had my phone.
She always checking your phone? So how did you get past that?
I used my work phone.
To text? And you had some secret apps, right?
That was on my personal phone.
Were you using anything else to have contact with her?
And I just texted her with my work phone. And when Shannan and the kids went to North Carolina, she used my personal phone. And she just told me to put pictures in an app, and I just found that calculator. I just put, just searced on the app store, hidden pictures, and just calculator app for some fun.
Hey, I can't find a babysitter.
To Nikki?
Yeah. And maybe that would have been a light switch in my head goes off, light switch in her head goes off, maybe just goes different directions. That was kind of my last opportunity to kind of get out of this team set, because I wish I would have said, yeah, let's go. Yeah. And I think that would have just put me on a different trajectory.
So she talked to you after she met with?
No.
Oh,
That
sure.
was like, she had told me, like, this is the last time you'll probably hear from me. I'm going to stay at my friend Jim's place while this is all going on. She said not to contact her until this is done.